Rick, thank you. All right, let's talk Tom Brady. Before this game started, I felt it was a virtual certainty that Tom Brady would be the starting quarterback of the 49ers next season. And a lot of people around the league think that too. I interviewed a Bucs insider. He thought the same thing. I didn't put it in his head. I think the Niners think it. I think Brady thinks it. But what's crazy about this season is that Brock Purdy just entered the chat. Brock Purdy is the fly in the ointment. And he just might win. I mean, he just destroyed Tom Brady. They were on the same field, not playing the same defense. Just destroyed Tom Brady. Could win the Super Bowl this year. If Brock Purdy wins the Super Bowl this year, I don't think Tom Brady's coming to the 49ers. But there's no guarantee that's going to happen. And part of the Niners' decision at quarterback this offseason is what to do about Tom Brady. Here's how I interpret the things with Brady that happened this offseason. He retired January 29th. Then the 49ers, then he came back to the Bay to spend time with his family. In the meantime, the 49ers hired Brian Griese, who played college football with Brady. And it was pretty much documented that Brady was trying to find a way off the Bucs. He retired, but really he just didn't want to play for the Bucs anymore. I think he saw this coming. But he couldn't get away. They wouldn't trade him. They said they'd trade him for 5 first-round picks. Wasn't going to happen. So he comes back. He gets divorced. He soldiers through one last season with a terrible Bucs team. And I think he's thinking, next year, I'll finish my career where I should have been the last few years with the 49ers, and I think the Niners probably were prepared for it. I mean, when they hired Brian Griese, that was such a head-scratcher because he's not like Trey Lance. He's never coached before. He's never developed a quarterback, but he knows Tom Brady. And the way I was thinking is, if you have Brady and Kyle Shanahan on the same team, the first thing everyone's going to say is, well, they can't coexist. They're going to fight. Brady's going to want input, Kyle's going to push back, and they're not going to get along. Well, if you have Brian Griese going back and forth, Kyle and Brady never have to have a face-to-face conversation. Brady says, Brady says to Brian Griese, hey, tell Kyle I want to do this. Griese goes over to Kyle's offense. Tells Kyle. Kyle says, I hate that. Tell Brady I'm not doing it. And Griese runs interference so that neither one gets their feelings hurt. That's what I thought the whole thing was. And when you go back and look at how the 49ers used Trey Lance this year as a running back, it makes you feel like, hey, man, maybe they weren't super invested in Trey Lance's future anyway. Maybe they're thinking, let's get through this one more year and get Tom Brady next year. So there's still an outside shot that happens. He's not going back to Tampa. That team sucks. And he's from out here, and he wanted to be out here a few years ago. The Niners passed it on him, so now they're going to have to decide, is Brock Purdy a better option than Tom Brady? I don't know. If you put Brady on the 49ers today and Brock Purdy on the Bucs, would the Niners have lost? I don't think so. I think what we saw today is a quarterback who had a terrible offensive line. That being said, Brady missed some downfield throws today. I'm not sure Purdy would have hit him, but Brady used to have the best deep ball in the game, and not anymore. All he could do today was dink and dunk. He had some downfield throws, missed them. He had the one nice throw to Mike Evans that didn't count, but other than that, he overthrew some, he underthrew some. I don't know. It's funny. Every time the Niners have an opportunity to get Tom Brady, they talk themselves out of it. 3 years ago, they're like, nah, he's washed. He's washed up. Let's stick with Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, are they thinking that now? He's washed up. Let's stick with Brock Purdy because we've seen him for 5 games. I don't know. Again, before this game, I'm thinking, I would bet money that Tom Brady is going to be the starting quarterback of this team next year. Now, Brock Purdy's just such a good story. And he's cheap, and he's young. And if he wins the freaking Super Bowl, why would you pull the plug on him? So, Tom, if you thought you were coming back to the Bay, it may never happen for you. It might not. And it might not because of a kid named Brock. Isn't that funny? I bet he didn't see that coming. I bet the Niners didn't see that coming either. If they had seen it coming, maybe they would have played Brock Purdy a little earlier.